it's Beth. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be talking with you about 5 ways to handle toxic family holidays. It is that time of year again, and holiday gatherings and the pressure to be there are at full swing once again, and those situations aren't always ones that are desirable or even healthy for us. I've been thinking about this topic a lot lately, with it being the holiday season, and been doing some reading as well, and some ideas, especially from Dr. Rachel Glick, that I've read have really inspired me to just come up with a set of tips and strategies and a planning process to be able to share with you as we talk about navigating through this season together. So let's get into it. So the overarching umbrella over these 5 steps that we're about to get into is really to just plan ahead. In doing this, you enable yourself to feel more confident in the situation, you feel more at peace with how you can navigate through it, and hopefully it's a more enjoyable time for you if you do decide to step into a holiday event with family that have some toxic behaviors. So planning ahead, let's get right into step number 1, which is to decide the length of your visit. So something that may help you is to set a time limit and communicate that time limit of your attendance for this event with everyone involved, or at the very least, the person who is setting it up. For example, you may want to communicate and say, we will stop by for 1 hour and head out after dinner at 6 p.m. In saying that, you have set that time limit, you've communicated that with others, and then when 6 p.m. comes on the day of that event, you can feel free to just say, Merry Christmas to all good night, I'm peacing out. And those time boundaries can be so beneficial to you, to your partner and or children if you have them, and just to your overall happiness. Setting a time limit can be a great first step. Step number 2 is to be realistic and meter your expectations for others' behaviors. Don't get your hopes up too much with the idea that your family member would be just magically, perfectly behaved just in time for the family Christmas dinner. People tend to be pretty consistent, and while we can't make that choice for them to change their mindset, to change their attitudes, to change their ways, change even their beliefs, we can't make those choices for them. But what we can do is manage our own expectations, make sure that our expectations for their behaviors are appropriate and realistic, and that way we can go in prepared, but also prepared with an arsenal of responses that we can then utilize if the need arises to words or behaviors that are enacted or shared by them that cannot go unchecked. So having those expectations ourselves can make the process a lot easier for us in this planning process heading toward a family holiday gathering. Step number 3 is to set your limits and to decide ahead of time which toxic behaviors that you will want to specifically address. This can be a really tough one to live out in the moment when you're in the midst of experiencing these behaviors that can be not only toxic but also potentially insulting and insanely demeaning as well. As I mentioned in the last item, planning out that list either in your head or on paper or both, if that helps you. Planning out that list of potential responses to situations you think may arise can be a very helpful tool. Think too ahead of time, are there any battles that you may encounter or fight that could be more harmful than the actual offense from the family member itself? Again, that is a tough question, and I know that really all of that depends on your specific situation, because while we all may experience some toxicity within family relationships, not everyone's experiences are exactly the same, and really so much depends too on exactly what you face. But however, and whatever you decide to do, just keep your mental, emotional, and your physical well-being at the forefront of your decision-making process in this when you decide ahead of time which battles are worth fighting and which behaviors require addressing. Strategy number 4 is to develop internal boundaries so toxicity does not and cannot penetrate. We can all take some more time to think objectively about our words and our tones before we actually speak, so that we're thinking about and considering how they're perceived by others. We also know that oftentimes how our words are spoken and the tones that we use and how those are perceived come across even worse with family members. So another tool that we can use to combat these toxic and harmful words from family members is to first protect our minds from those potential daggers. So doing things like speaking positive thoughts and affirmations to ourselves before entering these situations can be a great way to help us be able to respond to shut down, and to redirect these ignorant thoughts and statements from family members without letting those toxic thoughts actually hit their mark, which is to damage us in some way. Walk in with confidence. Think about beforehand who you are, what you believe in, and what you know about yourself as a kind of shield to protect from any daggers that may potentially come your way. Strategy number 5 is to set your ground rules and your external boundaries and practice implementing those firmly. State what you are and are not willing to do, and what you are and are not willing to discuss, and firmly adopt those, firmly implement those, and practice as much as necessary before the time of this event, if that's something that you are determined to go to. After working through these strategies, you may decide that this is something you'd like to try and you do want to attempt to go to that gathering. So if you're trying to think of some things to say to help you set those boundaries, you could say things like, I will participate in blank, blank, and blank. I will not participate in the discussion of blank, as this topic is not up for discussion and I am not taking feedback at this time. I will leave by blank time, as I have other responsibilities but have enjoyed my visit. Practice those things with a loved one, if necessary, beforehand, someone that you trust, get along with well, and would like to have help you in preparing for this situation. Practice if that's difficult for you to communicate, especially in the moment, because it can be a lot more difficult when you're actually in the middle of implementing and communicating something than it might be even during practice. And just know overall that you're doing this for you. You are worth setting boundaries for. While these strategies can help you plan for and work through navigating situations with potentially toxic situations within family, holiday gatherings, maybe you've decided through the course of this video too, as you reflect on your own life, your own situation, and your own relationships, that you just don't want to go at all. And that is okay. Maybe you have worked for peace and you have tried to enact change within these dynamics and within the people that are in your family, but you might still not be being seen. You're not being heard. You're not being respected. And it is completely okay to just say, I will not be attending this year. There is nothing wrong with that. That gives you an opportunity to be able to spend the holiday how you want to spend the holiday, how you need to spend the holiday, however that looks like for you, however that is best for you. So just know, as I always say that it's okay to grow, just know that it is okay to not go. I hope that these strategies have been able to help you think about and process if you really have been wanting to attend and you want to, try to make an appearance and make that work and still be around your family for the holidays. But if you decide not to, I hope you enjoy every minute of it, however you decide to spend it, and just do what's best for you. Love to all. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. I'll see you in the next video.